Hey everybody, David the AI Guide here, and welcome to the AI Guide on YouTube. And the purpose of this channel, as you know, is to educate people about artificial intelligence, AI, and prepare especially students and folks in their 20s for the future, because this is the one thing that's going to impact your careers more than anything else. So I just have read a book called The Architects of Intelligence by martinford. And what I liked about the book was it was a good, simple synopsis of a lot of the concepts we've talked about in one place. So I just want to share with you what he said, and then, of course, we're asking for comments and feedbacks on our channel so that we can do more of what you like. The first thing he said is that human beings learn from one example or a few examples. So when you're a little kid, you learn what a cat is very quickly from seeing it a couple of times. You may not be able to say it, but you know what it is. And AI is not like that at all. So AI needs thousands of examples to know what something is. So this is a huge difference between humans and AI. And it's important to keep that in mind to give you an idea of just how far away the AI apocalypse that some people are worried about is. It's a long, long way away, and with intelligent planning will never happen. But AI today is mostly based on deep learning. We've talked about that. It's based on using a neural net. The deep learning is algorithms, and when they first start training an AI on how to recognize something, they do what's called supervised learning. So in the cat example, they would show the AI 1,000 pictures of a cat with a cat labeled. And then from that, the AI could take unmarked examples and recognize the cat. But again, it takes thousands of examples for the AI to get to that point. Also, AI is used for natural language processing, and we've talked about that very recently in some of the most recent videos, but that's Siri, to put it simply, or Alexa. And AI eventually, not yet, not even nearly yet, but eventually AI will be able to learn by combining natural language processing and deep learning, but it's not there yet. So AI today is limited to one task. And the example that martinford gives that's very well known now is AlphaGo, that beat the world's #1 Go player. So that deep learning algorithm was taught to do one thing and one thing only. Humans obviously are not that way. Humans can do multiple things. And in fact, humans learn differently than supervised learning. We do use natural language processing, but we do not use supervised learning. Well, I'll take that back. School, forget it. School is supervised learning. We do use it. Artificial general intelligence is the holy grail of AI. We've talked about that before, but AGI needs something that it doesn't have at all that humans have, which is common sense. This is very far away. And common sense is how you make sense of something that you've never been exposed to before. So with AI needing thousands of examples and being trained for one task, it's nowhere near having common sense. They are working on it, but it's a long, long way away. Some of the thoughts they have about how to get to artificial general intelligence is hybrid systems. So that would be a system of reinforcement learning, which is giving rewards for recognizing what you're trying to get it to recognize, And then also you can use deep learning plus rules, which they are using right now for self-driving cars to try to make those better and better. And you may have seen one of the recent, not so recent videos from Elon Musk. There's a wide difference of opinion between the self-driving car builders about how it's going to be done. So Tesla uses optical recognition only. Very advanced, but that's it. Whereas Waymo, formerly part of Google, uses optical plus LiDAR, which is laser radar. So they're thinking now that possibly by mixing different things like reinforcement learning and deep learning plus rules, that they might be able to get what's called unsupervised learning, which is what adult humans do. Children learn often through supervised learning, so I've amended what I said. And adults often learn through unsupervised learning, but supervised learning is highly recommended for adults. Why? To be really successful, everyone needs a mentor. And you need a mentor in the area you're interested in and that you want to be successful in. That is adult supervised learning. So the next thing he says is that AI can make life a lot better. It's not all doomsday. And that's a really good point. In the very last video that we put up, we talked about how AI is causing current breakthroughs in medicine. And so clearly AI can be used for good. But two of the examples he gives is there's been a lot of talk, and I've talked about it, about bias and algorithms. And one example was algorithms used for hiring people, right? So there's been examples of people using, for example, all pictures of white people, which has resulted in a hiring algorithm that's biased against African Americans, or all men biased against women. So there's a company called Affectiva who has worked with a software company called hirevue to build a hiring AI that is anti-bias. And they've been fairly successful. The statistics so far show that this AI from hirevue is 90% faster than humans in picking the right candidates or the candidates that will be interviewed for hiring. And then the people picked is 16% more diverse than humans pick because every single human being has predispositions and biases. We try to fight them, but we all have them. So Affectiva, working with hirevue, has been able to design an algorithm that is fighting against bias in hiring. Another example that he gives, and that'll wrap it up for today, this will be part 1 on this book, we'll do part 2 next time, is glasses for people with autism. So one of the major challenges that folks with autism has is reading faces and body language and recognizing what nonverbal expressions mean. So the same person who started Affectiva started another venture that created glasses that when someone with autism puts them on and was wearing them, it's AR, right? So on the glasses, it explains to them what the facial expression of the person they're looking at means. So that's very cool. And that's a clear example of AI helping people with a disability in a way that another human necessarily couldn't. So AI can be used for great good. So next time we're going to finish up, do the other half of what I read in the book. But this is a good short summary. I hope you liked it. If you like it, please like it. If you liked it, please share it. And if you really liked it, please subscribe. And thank you for watching the AI Guide. Thanks so much. I really appreciate all you guys.